Yo, what's up, Derek? Thank you so much for jumping on the AIM podcast.
Hey, thank you for having me.
Absolutely, bro. I love the Cuts, man. I see you rocking, representing the Cuts fam.
Yeah, always appreciate you for the introduction.
Yeah, bro. We got to keep growing the fam with the right kind of people, man. Ambitious people, and that's definitely what you are, man. So we're glad we're all together working with Cuts, man. It's a dope company,
Oh, facts.
bro. So if we played one on one, man, what do you think the score would be?
Whew, that's tough. Because I'm not gonna lie, I'm a defensive specialist.
Okay.
So I pride myself in playing physical D and not let my opponent score. But at the same time, I'm more defensive than offensive. So I'm never gonna say I'm gonna lose, but I'll probably say it'd be like 11-10 me.
Oh wow. So it's gonna be a close one.
It'll come down to the last shot, and it'll probably be a few possessions back and forth before one of us scores. So
I feel that, bro. I
I
feel
like to
that.
see us on the same team rather than playing one on one.
Hey man, I'm down for that, bro. I'll come up to Philly, man. We'll play some 2-on-2 with some of the guys. Do you play with the team like or with Dre and them at all, or do you just stick to mostly the skill development stuff?
Oh no, we play. All of us in our little circle, we are all ballers. So like last year in Cleveland when Dre got shut down for a little while, we were going to this place called Hoop Tech every single day, bro. And we would do 2-on-2 shooting competitions. Me and Dre would win every single one of them. Sorry guys, but it's true. And then we would expand into some 3-on-3s, some 4-on-4s when there was enough for fives. We would play. And then I had the pleasure of I didn't play this summer, but I was in the gym with at Remy's with. I mean, shit. I watched pickup with all the top guys that I would
Everybody.
not want to step on the floor with.
Really. Remy seems dope, man. I've been watching his stuff for a while, man. He's a great trainer, man.
Oh, he's incredible, and his roster of guys, speaks for himself with the quality of work he does. So
That's awesome, bro. That's super good. How's the season going, man? How's everything up there going?
it's going well. I mean, Philly's top of the East at the moment. It always looks good playing on a team that's a championship contender. My guy Dre is making every minute count. He's on that floor. He's had the opportunity to start, a handful of times when Embiid's taking some rest days, and I mean, Dre goes crazy with extended minutes. So,
Yeah.
it's exciting watching him perform. And I mean, Philly, it's the fans here wear their heart on their sleeves. So when you're doing well and when you're not. So I like that about it. I'm from Boston, so we kind of reciprocate the same. So
Yeah, 100%, man. Did you have you seen some pretty crazy people at the games? I'm sure what's that experience like?
every game, every game there's
People love
there's a
Philly.
different. Oh yeah, I mean there's a different character in every arena we go to, but Philly fans in Philly are just so unique. And I mean, I've never seen anyone boo like a little kid performing at a halftime show. If they're not good, the whole arena is booing them. It doesn't matter. They're
What?
ruthless.
That's
Oh yeah,
crazy, bro.
like F Ben Simmons chants every single night, even with him not in the building. Like these fans are nuts. I heard there were fans when Danny Green checked out last night of the game. Danny, you're terrible. You shouldn't be on this team. I'm like, come on, this is a home game. You shouldn't have
Yeah.
to deal with that.
Jeez, man. That's crazy, dude. That's got to be
Yeah,
a crazy environment.
it is. It's different for sure.
Well, that's cool, man. Well, listen, I want to jump right in, kind of set the context with some of your background. I want to talk about kind of your transition into fitness, like what that looked like and how you really got going in your whole career.
Yeah, facts. So after college, I was very blessed with being, scouted to model, and I was an actor from day one, preschool. And unfortunately, my dreams of being an NFL athlete were shut down due to injuries. So, I did the model thing for a while, and I was very successful with it. And I was 240 pounds when I graduated college. And
Wow.
obviously, most models are skinny, very thin guys. So for me, my real fitness journey outside of being, training for my sport, it started when, college ended for me. Because for me, it was motivation for me to get cut up and, cut down. So I ended up losing 50 pounds. And I got myself from 240 to 185 ish. And I started modeling for all the top brands around the world for like 8 years. It was incredible. But when you're doing something and you just don't have that like satisfaction that you're doing something significant.
Yeah.
So for me, I've always been a gym rat. I've always been obsessed with fitness. My mother was a personal trainer, and I was always that athlete that just, I loved preparing for my sport. So for me, it kind of, the love for modeling and acting started to slowly evaporate. And my love for fitness, it just became just a passion that took over me. So, it caused me to get certified as a personal trainer, as a group trainer, as a life coach. And then from there, it expanded to training Lady Gaga and her whole team of people. My boy, Nicola Formichetti, who's the top creative director in the world right now. I started training him. He's Lady Gaga's creative director. And then the whole transition of working with that team started. And, I had the pleasure of working with them in LA for a year and really getting myself comfortable as a trainer personally and group wise. And then it expanded into working with pro athletes. I started working right away with Drummond, went and worked with him from Cleveland to the Lakers, now with the Sixers. In the summertime, I had the pleasure of not only working with Dre, but working with Remy and his collection of clients, Donovan Mitchell, Colin Sexton, Jeff Green is probably my favorite guy I got to work with this summer. That man is a workhorse. I mean, he's a veteran in this league that's outworking most of these rookies. So, when you see stuff like that, it just gives you an extra fire inside. And, from there, I expanded onto the Playbook app. It's been a pleasure, kind of connecting with you through that as well. And, kind of just growing myself more so as a bigger trainer, in the world now. So,
yeah.
That's kind of where I'm at. My girl and I were expanding this year into a group training business. We're going to be doing a little DC group training, and hopefully we can utilize our sponsorships to kind of work around the country and do some sponsored classes.
Dude, that's so cool. There's three things I want to kind of break down. So you obviously have a personal style of training, and I love your content, bro. Like, your workouts are so cool, the way you train. So I want to talk about that. I want to hear more about how you train someone like Lady Gaga or like a celebrity in that way. And then obviously I want to follow up with how you train a professional athlete, because I know all three of those look very different. So let's start with the way you train, because I love some of the stuff you're doing. I know you have a lot of energy. You kind of do some very crazy and creative stuff, but like, talk a little bit about your style of training and why you do what you do.
So for me, I'm always an athlete first and foremost. So when it comes down to it, my style of training is more athletic based than anything. So I love, the extreme functional movements. I love, being able to push my body weight as much as possible. I like having the drastic differences between heavy weights and light weights and doing a nice little mix. And I also really focus on confusing my body. So like what I did yesterday and what I did today, you're going to think it's a completely different person with the style, how I work out. So for me, my biggest thing is to see gains every single day when I wake up. And I kind of push myself to the point of, there's no return. And my style of training for me personally is very similar to the style of training where I would train a pro athlete as well. Because for me, a lot of what I'll do in the morning is setting up my clients, such as Dre, for his afternoon workout. So I might not do his exact workout, but I'll do a lot of the same movements just to make sure, they're the right movements for him for the day and all that. So, it's very, very planned out, very strategic. And, it's very focused on me becoming more athletic while also becoming, lean and more muscular. Well, the way that I do it for myself, I would never recommend anyone else doing for their self. I mean, I'm constantly trying to build muscle and burn fat at the same time while becoming more athletic. So it's just constantly challenging myself and, really, showing up at the gym and leaving it all in there when I'm done. So
I love it. You haven't made Dre do any backflips yet, have you?
Nah, I'm not looking to get sued by his agency or his family, because that's a big man to be flipping.
I know, I'm just messing. Do you follow a program for yourself, or do you just kind of see what you need to hit that day? Like, how do you, I'm sure, I mean, you've done it for so long, you're so experienced in that way. Like, is there a way, like, you structure it super by the T, or do you just kind of wake up and like, all right, I need to hit chest. Let me design something to hit that.
So every day I have a certain muscle group that I train, and every Monday is going to be a different workout, but it's always going to be the same muscle groups. So I'm always changing my workouts, my style. I always do circuit training. So I'll always put together 5 or 6 exercises within a circuit, and I'll do that, for 3 different circuits throughout my workout. But, while I do that, my Monday this week might look like a completely different trainer as my Monday next week. So it's more so what my body needs and what my body's lacking for me to kind of replenish and replace and build up. Because for me, I've been studying my body since high school. I know what works, what doesn't. So it's very easy for me to step in the gym and go take care of what I need to. Whereas like, say I designed a plan a month ahead for like the whole month. Week 2, week 3, my body might be lacking different things that I didn't prepare for in the moment when I'm training, because the way I train is very intense and just very different than a normal person would. So I like to live in the moment. If anything, it would be a week ahead. I'd set up the program and then every week change it. But, most people don't have that capability. So I definitely take advantage of that as much as possible.
Yeah, that's awesome. So I'm curious, like training someone like Lady Gaga or a celebrity that maybe is not known for their athleticism, like what does that process look like? Are you talking to them about their goals and like structuring a plan around what they want, or how do you even go about that?
Yeah. So, I mean, every initial meeting, you have that conversation with your client, like figure out what their past has been like, figure out what their future goals are like, what their day-to-day life is like, how they're eating and all that stuff. So once you kind of get a little grasp for that, that team of people, even though they're very artistic, they worked harder than a lot of pro athletes that I see on the regular. Wow. So, effort is huge, and willingness to actually, take the coaching and do it is a game changer. And I never had to deal with any negativity or them saying, no, I'm not doing this. So obviously I'm not having them do all these crazy athletic movements, but my circuit training is the same. The pace is the same. I want them to be getting a good cardiovascular workout while they're lifting, and I want their heart rate to be up the whole time. So, a lot of my training when it comes to the style is similar, but obviously, I'm replacing certain exercises depending on the client. But, don't don't look down on them, because they worked their butt off. And that year, it was crazy to see the progress that they were making every single day. And I was a proud dad for a while, seeing these people show up every morning. We did early mornings every day, so they had their whole day to work and be creative. So props to them. I was very, very pleased with the results and with the effort. And it was definitely a lot different than what I'm doing now, but it was a good different. I learned so much. I really did.
That's great. Do you have any crazy stories or anything that happened during that time? I'm just curious. I feel like you've got to have some type of crazy story when working with people like that.
I mean, more so just like the random people that would pop out of like the woodwork during the workouts. It was like, really? I remember this one dude, him and his girl, they were like super famous on TikTok. And like when I was training them, TikTok was like, that's when it was at its peak. And I don't know if you've heard of Candy Ken and Baby J, but
I don't know if I have. I'm trying to think.
Dude, these two, they literally had a baby for TikTok, bro.
What do you mean?
Like that, they had a child together just for TikTok.
Wow, that's crazy.
But so this dude used to randomly pull up with his girl, and he would dress in all pink, have his hair bleached, like big Austrian bodybuilder, like but like these dudes would come over, and while we're working out, him and his girl would be filming funny TikToks like right next to him. I'm like, what is this?
That's crazy.
But like just like random funny people that shoot. I have stories for days. I'm just getting caught on like so many details, but like just random stuff like that where just people would pull up and just, I'm like, what are they doing right now? Like, what is going on? So it was cool. I mean, I was actually working with her while she did the Friends little cameo. I don't know if you saw that, but when they had their Friends reunion, she did a little song with Phoebe during their reunion show. So I
Wow.
had the pleasure of working with her during that, which was pretty cool. She definitely had a blast working on Friends. That was a big show of mine. I watched all the Friends during COVID. So
You're a Friends guy. Everyone loves it, man. I never really watched a ton of it, but it's an iconic show, obviously.
oh, definitely iconic show.
Dude, that's
I
so
don't like
cool.
the way they ended the last season though. It was a little
You would
boring.
you would have done it differently
I
as a
would have.
director? Yeah. I respect that. I respect that. I want to know what it's like training an NBA guy. Like obviously it's completely different than anything else. Like there's so much of a functionality and a performance standpoint of like the design of the programming. And I know obviously too, and I'm sure I want to hear you talk about it, but there's different programmings for different parts of the season depending on where they are, how much they're playing, all that stuff. So what does that look like forming a program for a guy that's playing, good minutes in the NBA?
So first and foremost, obviously, it's more maintenance than anything. We train all summer to get him ready for the 82 game schedule, and so that means we're not trying to make gains during the season because that really wouldn't make sense. So
Right.
for Dre, he does have an incredible training staff with the 76ers. So not only do I have my own formula for him that I personally do, but it's an extra challenge that I have to connect with the training staff with the Sixers, see what they're doing on the daily, and then kind of take from there what he's lacking for the day. So for me, it's very different. I had the pleasure last year working with Mike Mancini on the Lakers, who has been training LeBron James since he came into the league. So Mike kind of showed me a lot of the post game workouts that he would do with Braun, the pre game workouts he would do with Braun, the day off work. So I kind of got a good background from Mike of like how he's been working with the King for the last 18 years.
It's crazy.
So that for me was a huge blessing. And like me, Dre and I will do a lot of band work. Activate the hips, activate the leg muscles. I mean, the man's 6'10", 280 pounds, and he runs faster than, most guards in the league. So, making sure he's stretching every single day, making sure his body's loose and feeling good. I mean, picture being that big and running on your feet. So his feet are a big focus, making sure his feet are loose, making sure, there's no cramping up, and keeping him very light. And then also, flexibility is huge for the way he moves and the way he plays. So we do a lot of active dynamic stretches, and that's the day-to-day stuff. That's every day. That's inevitable. Just for his overall well-being. Playing an 82 game season, I mean, your body's going to want to break down eventually. And
Sure.
then from there, like I said, it's just seeing what the Sixers did with him that day, seeing what they lifted, and then how I could kind of replace that with a little bit more to benefit him a little bit extra. So, I mean, me more so, it's a lot of lightweight, a lot of, fast movements, a lot of athletic movements. And it's nothing that's going to take his jump shot away. It's nothing that's going to make him not be able to play 15 to 20 minutes a night.
Mm.
It's more so, like I said, it's just maintenance on the daily, just so his body's feeling great every day. And then once we hit the summertime, that's when the workouts really go crazy. I mean, 2-a-days, we're doing, lifting and athletic training. It's very, very different. It's a mix of heavy weights and crazy athletic movements. I had Dre running routes last year. We were
Really?
literally on a football field, and he was running routes like a tight end. I mean, there's workouts everywhere that even for other sports that can make you more athletic and just give you a better understanding of things. Like him
Mhm.
running down the court, looking over his shoulder, catching a pass, and then dunking it. What's the
Yeah.
difference between that and him running a slant over the middle, catching it and running?
Right.
So for me, just hand-eye coordination while moving. I mean,
That's
that's
great.
that's 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 what we focus on. So
I love that. So my question, I guess, too, the follow up is in the off season, like how much? I'm just curious. Like I know the Philly staff is amazing, but how much of that? I'm sure, like every player, no matter who you are, even LeBron, like they have different goals in the off season on the strength and conditioning side of things. How much of that is predicated on what Dre wants to accomplish or achieve or improve on versus what Philly wants him to accomplish or achieve or improve on? And then how do you fit into that equation? Like Is that something Dre gets to kind of choose, or is that something more where Philly's kind of pushing certain things that you're having to kind of hit on?
Mm-hmm. So, I mean, we definitely work as a team between his agency, between myself, his our group of people that work directly with Dre here in Philly. Everything we do is very strategic, and we move as a unit. So, I think collectively we all figure out what's best for him. We'll take everything and we'll have a conversation about it. His agency has a big say because they're the ones talking to teams every day, because Dre's going to be a free agent this summer. So this is a big summer. So, depending on what teams are saying about him, what they might be looking for him from the future, we'll be taking all that into consideration with the training. And, depending on what teams want from him moving forward, we definitely make that a priority. So it's just now, so being a free agent after the season, it's going to be a lot of trying to figure out what teams want from him moving forward.
Yeah.
So
that makes sense.
Currently the Sixers are very happy with the way he's working and with the way he's playing and moving and all that. So as long as we just keep that up, we're golden.
Let's go. I love that, man. How do you find balance being a celebrity, a professional athlete trainer with just like a normal, like balanced life? Like, how do you manage that lifestyle, but also still do things that a normal person can do?
I'm very humble. I keep to myself a lot. I'm very quiet when it comes to me out and about in person. I'm more an observer. So, I definitely, I keep a small circle of people. I don't talk to too many people, and, I have an amazing girl in my life. So, I try to keep it as low key as possible. I mean, you guys see what I do every day on my social. I literally wake up, work out. I work with my clients, and I get back to the gym. That's my life. Other than that, I like going out on dates with my girl and keeping it simple. But, it definitely can be a little annoying, having a spotlight on you, being out and about in different cities, especially when, people everywhere I go always know, like, oh, that's Drummond's trainer. Like, I had a whole group of dudes in Philly one night watching the Eagles game. I showed up by myself, just went and grabbed a drink. I had 10 dudes buying me drinks all night just because they were like, oh shit, you're Drummond's trainer. Like, but it's cool. It has its pros and cons, but like, I'm very closed off. Like, I'm not one that really enjoys talking to everybody around me, even though apparently I have that face where people come up and talk to me a lot, which I'm always super nice and friendly. But, I do like my private time, and just my circles consist of my people with Dre and those guys, my family and my girl. So
that's so
what, keep it small.
Yeah. Outside of like all the stuff you do, obviously training something you enjoy and you're passionate about, and it's part of you intertwine it with actual your work. Like, what are some things you like to do outside of that?
I mean, I'm a goofy dude. I love dancing. I've actually
hold on. Have you always done that? Because we've talked about this before about dancing. Is that you have a background in dancing, right?
I do. So something a lot of people don't know about me is I was actually a dance minor in college. So I played college football, and then I would literally go from football practice, bro, to like a ballet class, a jazz class, a modern dance class. Like,
like
my football coach would be like, but bro, my coach would literally be like, all right, Twinkle Toes, go have fun at dance class. I'm like, come on, man. I just got done beating up everybody on the offense. Now you got to make fun of me.
I bet that low-key kind of helped. And I bet there's some like translations to athletics though, like sports and stuff.
Oh no, that was a huge motivation for me. Cause so I started getting Division I letters for football my freshman year of high school. I was a 4-year varsity football captain of my high school. I was a 3-year varsity basketball captain at my high school. Like, I had letters for football and basketball starting as a freshman. And then, injuries kind of continued to just kind of take that away from me. So unfortunately, that's what led me to the training route. There's no doubt in my mind I'd still be playing sports right now if I didn't continue to get hurt. But it is what it is.
Yeah, it's tough. The injuries can be challenging and can really change the path for a lot of people. What is what does your recovery look like? I know you're training a ton all day long. Like, how do you recover? Do you have certain techniques, practices, tools you use?
Yeah, so first and foremost, I love my Extend BCAAs and protein. I always drink their BCAAs while I'm working out. And then I'm currently drinking protein shake as we speak. Uh, and then, I love doing 15 to 20 in the sauna after a workout. I'm a huge stretcher. I stretch every morning, every afternoon, and every evening.
Wow.
Stretching for me is huge. I actually detached my hamstring in my leg at my cousin's wedding because I wasn't
You're dancing.
stretched out, and your boy was acting like freaking Michael Jackson, dropped into a split on the dance floor,
Oh
bro, and
my
my
gosh.
hamstring just. And this was when I was in college playing football still, so I
What?
was 240, and then like I was already like done at that point because of my injuries, but I was like, you know what? I'm not going to the doctors. This will heal on its own. Well, man, I don't know how many years later. It's almost a decade, but I still only have one hamstring in my right leg.
That's crazy, bro.
And I only have two on my left leg. So a normal human people have six hamstring muscles. I have three. And I'm doing the craziest stuff thinkable in the gym. So keep that in mind when you're telling yourself you can't do something.
Wow. That's wild. I didn't know that. That's crazy.
Yeah, and I've had three surgeries on my left knee, bro. I've broken my foot a bunch. My shoulder needs surgery. I was doing 135s this morning with shoulder press on a shoulder that needs surgery. Life is mental, baby. Life is mental. You tell you something, you're doing it. You're doing it.
I
If
love
as long
that.
as you believe, as long as you believe, and I
Yeah.
truly believe everything that I tell myself. So
I think you make a really good point. That's where a lot of people have to just really buy into the mindset of like believing in yourself when no one else does and understanding that the mindset controls everything else you do, even from a physical standpoint. Like a lot of people are like,
yeah,
man, I'm just physically not in shape or I'm not physically able to do this. Like you got to be mentally ready to do anything you put your mind to.
yeah, you've already taken the loss when you said I can't do this because that's going to be the result. For me, my whole life, I will always credit my parents because as a little kid, first thing I remember my parents telling me is you can do anything you want in this world. And bro, I took that and ran with it. A few years ago, I remember having a conversation with my mom, like, yeah, I'm sure you kind of regret telling me that because I haven't lived at home since college, bro. Just because
Wow.
I've been doing my thing. I've been flying all over the world, with modeling and acting and fitness. And just because my parents put that inside of me that, whatever I believe that I can do, I'm gonna do. And that's something that is very genuine with me. And it's not if, but when. If I'm gonna start something, I'm getting it done or I'm making it happen. And, I'm so thankful that I had that support system growing up and I still have it today, which is a whole nother reason why I wanted to get into fitness in general, because I was blessed with that system. I was blessed with, the confidence from others that I was capable of achieving my wildest dreams. And,
Wow.
my dreams are sky high. There's literally what I expect for myself, no one else in this world could expect from me. So, I credit my parents. I'm thankful for that. And for anybody watching this right now, if you need a support system, us two right here, we do this every day and we really do believe in what we say. And,
Facts.
if you believe in yourself, game over. Anything is possible. So,
Dude, I love that. That's so good, bro. And I love finding people and talking to people who are passionate about passing that on, like passing that energy on to others and helping other people realize like what life's all about and how to just be the best version of yourself. You don't have to be an NBA player to be
right.
successful. Like you don't have to be a superstar, but just be the best version of you every single day and continuously improve and don't settle. And I think that
Yeah.
that's what it comes down to, bro. Like, do you have the fortitude? Do you have the resilience to keep pushing even when things aren't going your way? Like, can you continue to just make yourself the best you can every single day?
Facts. No, bro, my motto is no days off, one day at a time. And the best way I can explain
Love
that,
that.
I I don't mean do what I do and go work out twice a day every day and kill yourself because that's not practical. I mean no days off, one day at a time, spending on yourself, growing as a person. You know, take an hour a day at least to focus on yourself and do something that's going to make you better and make you, get closer towards that dream or goal, whatever that may be. For me, it's fitness. but I just don't want people to get distracted with what I mean when I say no days off, one day at a time. I'm literally mean whatever that is in this world that you want to achieve and get better at, and do something every single day that makes you better, that gets you that one step closer. Don't overthink things and say, I can't do this. Just do it. Even if you do it terribly, get better the next day. Baby steps. Small steps are large victories every day as long as you're moving in the right direction. So it's like, I just want people to believe in themselves and just don't be afraid to do it. Like Nike is the best slogan ever. Just do it.
Just do
It's
it.
so easy.
It's simple and to the point. I love it.
Yeah, facts.
You man, that's good. You work with a lot of awesome brands. You've done a really good job of building your personal brand. Obviously, a big part of what you do is working with clients, but you also do have the personal brand side where you're working with some amazing company like Cuts, shout out Cuts. But
Yep.
talk about that side of things and how you've built a personal brand around what you do as well, and how you've gotten connected with some amazing companies.
Yeah. So first and foremost, if you do not utilize social media, people, please start. It is such an effective tool to grow your brand and make some money. For me, it started as a model and realizing, what different brands do, and what kind of models they use, what kind of athletes they use, and how, that whole works. And then I really started to figure, I'm a student of everything I do. And I have a marketing and communications degree. So social media for me definitely comes a lot easier. But once I kind of figured out the direction I wanted to formulate my page, I then also paid attention to brands that I really like and the kind of content they post and, the kind of people that they work with. And like for me, I have family first tatted on my body. Anybody I'm working with, I need to feel that family vibe from. So it was kind of just trial and error of figuring out which brands, had the same morals as me, had the same values as me, and also what brands, were badass and ready to get to work, because I am all in with everything I do. And I'm a very in your face type person. And if we're working together brand wise, I'm talking to you almost daily, figuring out what we can do every day to expand and grow. I've been blessed to work with C4 Energy. This year I was their top influencer. Now I don't consider myself an influencer. I'm an athlete, but collectively, besides, the Justin Fields of the world, I was their top performing athlete, which was such a good feeling to hear at the end of the year, and I'm also signed on with Extend, Cellucor, Trifecta, best meal prep company in the world, guys. Their food is so good, but it's just figuring out what you use every day, figuring out, what brands you really want to associate yourself and your brand with, and just kind of being very active with it. I'm not shy, bro. If I see a brand I like, I'll send a DM. I'll introduce myself. I'm very proactive in that way. And, the worst thing that could happen is they don't see my message. And guess what? I'm still where I was before. And guys, I probably have 6 different sources of income. Numero uno, Instagram. So, I make the most money on Instagram, and it's due to my brand work. I will do paid posts and I will do stuff like that, but primarily, my cut sponsorship, Trifecta, Cellucor, Extend, C4. I'm loving working with these brands and doing, intense content for them every day. I'm trying to expand my clientele. Been talking to Noble a little bit. Come on, guys, let's make this happen. But it's just a blast. I'm using my skills I learned as a model and as an actor, and now I'm implementing them into the fitness world. And I'm not gonna lie, these brands are blown away by the content I do, because I'm such an intense athlete and person, but I've also have 10 years of modeling experience. You put them in one and it looks like I'm doing the craziest workout ever every time that I'm shooting. So it's just a blessing that everything comes full circle. Whatever you guys are doing in your life right now, it's for a reason, and it's going to help you with something down the road. So just always be mindful of everything you're doing. Because right now I never thought, me being a fashion model working for Versace and Michael Kors would eventually help me as, a top trainer in the country. So it's like everything intertwines. So just be aware of how the universe is working for you, because
That's good.
it's intentional, definitely
That's good.
intentional.
I love that, dude. I agree. I think the one thing you said kind of at the beginning there is working with brands you truly believe in, that you can get behind the vision of what they're doing. Obviously, they've got to have a good product. They have to have a good service they're offering. But like getting behind a company like Cuts, outfitting the most ambitious people. Like I work with TLF, Take Life Further, Redefine
Mm-hmm.
Impossible. Like those are missions and visions that I can get behind as a influencer, as a person, as an athlete, whatever you want to call it. But I think that's super important because in today's age, people are definitely going for money, definitely going for different things, but getting behind stuff you believe in, it can really push that doesn't change your core values as a person is huge, which I think you've
Oh,
done a really
facts.
good job of because you work with some cool companies and I think it aligns greatly with your vision and brand.
Appreciate that. Yeah, man. I am more about what fits in my life than, make a quick dollar. Because for me, I'm all about longevity in my life. I'm all about creating, the best future for myself as I can. And the only way to do that is to, have genuine connections. And, I'm anybody you can make a quick buck doing anything. I mean, look at OnlyFans. That's not longevity.
Yeah, right.
So, I mean, yeah, I'm more about quality over quantity.
That's good, man. Dude, this has been an epic episode. As we wrap this thing up, man, I'd love to hear just kind of about your future goals, things you're trying to work on and expand as you move forward.
Yeah. So, I'm like I said, I'm new on the Playbook app. I'm trying to expand that as much as possible, have the best possible content, so everybody can download my app and get going on my workouts. On top of that, Cassie and I we're going to be creating a DC group training company. So we're going to be traveling around doing different group training sessions, hopefully sponsored by some of the brands that we're working with. That's very new and in the works right now. Moving forward this year, her and I are going to do a lot of stuff together, brand wise and fitness wise. So that's going to be a big focus this year. And yeah, man, I definitely want to get a few other NBA guys under my belt. I talked to Justin Fields last summer about possibly connecting and getting some work in this summer. So hopefully we can make that happen. He's also a C4 athlete as well. So, have that C4 connect,
There
getting
you
some
go.
working on the football field would be a lot of fun. So, yeah, just, kind of doing a little expanding of my fitness brand. My goal by the end of 2022 is to be the number one fitness trainer walking this earth as far as for athletes. Like obviously there's specific trainers for everything, but for what I do, I want to be the most well-known, trainer out there. And also I want to be known as a motivator. I don't want to just
Mm.
be a trainer. I want to be known as someone that, when you think of Derek Pratt, you think of, shit, I got to get to work right now because I know that dude's working. Or like, I listen to Eric Thomas all the time. And I just appreciate what he says and
Mm-hmm.
how he motivates people to better themselves.
That's good.
So if I can help some people this year, achieve their goals and dreams and work a little bit harder, that's a huge blessing for me. So
I love that, dude. Let's go, man. I'm super pumped for you, man. This has been an amazing episode. I love your energy. I love what you're doing to help people too, man. The combination is incredible. So keep going. And the AIM group, the AIM fam's always behind you, bro.
I appreciate you, bro. And we got to link up for some work soon, man.
Thanks.
I see you killing your workouts every day. So I love that. I appreciate the extra motivation.
Let's go. No, we definitely need to link soon. I need to check the schedule. We gotta link up for sure, dude. We gotta get something going soon.
Oh, facts. That's gonna happen, definitely.
All right, man. Thank you
And
so
we
much,
gotta play some ball soon.
bro.
Get
I'm
that
down.
get that jump shot going.
We can get the jumpers up before the
I
workout.
got
So
Key is the photographer that's been shooting me out here. She does pickup with a bunch of dudes like right around the corner from my building. So if you're ever in Philly and want to get some running, we have that option.
I'm there. Well, let's plan it out. Let's figure out what makes sense on this calendar, and we'll get up there and we'll crush it. Do some cuts content too.
Hell yeah. Sounds good, brother.
Derek, thank you so much, man. This has been a dope episode.
Hey, you too. Appreciate you having me.
Yes, sir.